Morning, everyone. Well, for me it's morning. For you, who knows? Today's video I'm going to talk entirely about organization, rules, and Discord. Discord, if you're a PC player, PC admin, or Xbox or PS4, it's highly recommended. The phone app, it works pretty good. They update it all the time, and I've already got a setup Discord video there, so I'm not going to get into that too much. The big point to this is going to be about organization, the rules I use, and basically when I say organization, I'm talking about saving time. If you're running a high pop server and you're doing a lot of promotion, you're going to have a lot of new players coming in. If you're really looking to go high pop, you're going to be doing your best to attract new players that just bought the game to your server. That's going to lead to a lot of questions. The more time you're spending answering questions, the less time you have for other things. So if you get organized on your Discord, and you're going to want to use Google Docs, especially if you're on PC, that's going to be a big key for you. Okay, so let's take a very quick look at that. I'm kind of a, just off the top, sort of a less is better desktop style, but that's entirely up to you. I have my ARC stuff here. This is a direct link to the folder for my shortcuts through Steam. I find that's very important. That way, the second I take a shortcut, I have quick access to it just by minimizing my game. I can post it up in Discord. And this is a gentleman that's done a few thumbnails for me. So I'm very minimalist, and one of the reasons is I like to be as fast as I can to use my time in other places. So if we take a look at the ARC one, I also do YouTube, as you know, and you're watching. So I have my YouTube stuff in here as well, you know, various thumbnails and so on. My pick section with videos and thumbnails. Not really related to what you're doing though. So let's get into what we're here to talk about, which is organization, and for me a lot of that's done through Discord. So of course we have our lobby main. One thing I do, I'm the only one able to @ everyone. That reduces the amount of notifications people are getting, and if you make it less intrusive, then they get less notifications, a little less saturated. Hopefully they'll actually pay attention when you do an @ everyone, and I do limit those except in emergency situations to 1 or 2 a day. We're going to get right into it. You've already seen that in my Discord video to set up this way. I have a rule in my server where they have to have the same name in-game character, not Steam, as their name in Discord. They also have to be a member of a tribe, even if they're a solo player. If we look here, they're all new people from yesterday. They're the only ones without a tribe assignment, more or less. And that's just easier for me to keep track of who's where and who's in what tribe. And also the rest of the Discord can @ a tribe or announce to a tribe. That for me is really important as far as tracking goes. And we're going to talk about battle metrics as well. One of the #1 sources I have for tracking my players, keeping my community safe. As mentioned, I do run a small exclusive server now. We still have, when I say small, I mean 25, 30 players at peak, spread out onto Ragnarok and the island. So for some people that's probably high, but for me it's not. It's a big change for us and we're loving it. Let's go on to server rules. I don't want this page anything more than 1 page. Okay, so this is where Google Docs comes in handy over and over again. To read the server rules, you would simply click here. Now let's take a look at them. Everybody's going to have different rules, especially if you're running PvP or PvE. I keep my rules as simple as possible, and one of the things about rules is being able to enforce them. There's people on my server, especially when the server first started, and everyone's a rank 1 or 10 or 20, and they really have a concern about beaver dams, people leaving wood in them. Another big concern they have is about who gets to which supply drop first. Now on the topic of that rule, enforcement is critical. If you can't enforce a rule, there's debatably no point in having that rule. So even though people have complained about it, how am I going to know who got there first every time to a supply drop? How can I look in the player's inventory and see if they left wood in the beaver dam? As the game grows and people become less dependent on supply drops and beaver dams, it kind of goes away. So I keep my rules stuff that I can easily enforce, and I also keep them pretty aggressive. One thing about it is, I try and keep the wording as polite and logical as possible, but a lot of players appreciate a strict rule base and aggressively enforced rules. So let's take a look at what I got. This is the very beginning. This is very unique to me. I doubt you're having this problem, but it's one thing I forgot to mention. I don't give out my Discord publicly on any of my advertisements. You may get people that come in that just want to rain on your parade or that want to recruit your players. I don't recommend it. I know a lot of you guys do it. It may attract some short-term love. You may get a stack of players in your Discord, but at the end of the day, it's probably not going to help your server pop. It's just an opinion, but I strongly encourage you not to give out your Discord on any of your publicly read advertising. Give it out to individuals as they join. You will get recruiters, and you will get people that think it's, on Steam and Reddit, you're going to get people that think it's dumb that you're giving out your Discord, especially those Steam posts that are like, join my Discord gaming community. Just going to get a lot of no's and negative feedback. Whether you're super strong or thick skin or not, getting negative feedback all day, call me a liar if you like, but getting negative feedback all day long, it tends to get to you a little bit over time. So the more positive feedback you can get from what you're doing, the better. If we can reduce the negative, the better. And advertising just your Discord alone, hey, join my Discord community of gamers, is a great way to attract negative feedback. So this one's about in two separate occasions, and I noticed this through statistics. On two separate occasions, every time someone new joined my Discord, I had I guess you could call it a troll, but it's not really, just someone that doesn't like me, telling them, oh, Biggs is an ass, or Biggs is this, Biggs is that, and I noticed that I was getting players into the Discord that weren't joining the server a much higher percentage than prior to this happening. So I put a note, as part of my rules, you have to read the server rules before you join. So hopefully they read this note, and if they get a message from someone, they will let me know, and hopefully this will work. But it's a tough start. I don't recommend this one. It kind of makes me look a bit off. I'm not sure about it yet. I just put it on recently. You've got to have me on your friends list to play. I need to be able to, now I'm going to show you with battle metrics that I can find out most about you without that. But we need you on my friends list, and that's just a way to see mostly who their friends are. And I need to know if they've got 8 people that have been banned from my server on their friends list. We got a problem. Now remember, these are rules built on running a small exclusive server, so you may not want that. That's up to you. I definitely encourage people to film and stream. That's not going to hurt your population. But if they want to promote their channels in the Discord, number one, because I have my own, but more importantly, people get a little carried away with it maybe, and all of a sudden your Discord becomes a method of advertising, and we don't want that. These rules are fairly important. I would definitely have them as a must. Any recruiting of players to bring to another server will result in a total ban from all servers and the Discord. No warning issued. I mentioned why I don't do 24-hour bans. I don't do warnings. Once someone's pissed off, you're better just to get rid of them. Now again, this is for an exclusive server. You're running high pop. You may want to have more conversations with people and not have such a heavy ban hammer like me. My players appreciate that ban hammer. They've been with me a while. They know that I ban people right away, and that provides a much better place for them to play. So we're in a bit of a unique situation. I'm sharing the info though just to get thoughts and ideas in your head, right? To plant seeds. This is an automatic. That should be there, and most people have it. This as well. Whether you're right or left side politically, whether you're in the middle, you might notice that when these big corporations have an issue, they tend to say things over and over again like this doesn't stand for our core values, we're an open company, and etc., etc. The reason being they don't want to isolate customers. Okay, now there are exceptions, but in general, as the admin or owner of the server, you want to attract players on an international level. You want to attract players from all different walks of life if you're trying to run high pop. And for that reason, you don't want to make people feel uncomfortable or isolate them. Your policy should be a zero tolerance to racism, sexism, insults, name and shame, things like this. So that's just our Discord rules. As we see, there's only 3 easy to enforce rules. On my servers, after 3 days, I believe, 3 in real-time days, anything that's unattached, like a pillar, a campfire, a torch, is automatically wiped out. However, and I would love to just depend on that, but we still need a rule against pillar spams. They're tough to clean up. If you got a tribe that's well established and they decide to place pillars everywhere, you can't use the cheat destroy tribe structures because you'll wipe out everything, and you don't want to be spending your time running around removing pillars. So that's an auto ban. You start posting up pillars everywhere, and a guy who says, "I'm new to the game, I don't know." Come on, if you're new to the game, you don't know about pillar spams. If you know about pillar spams, you're doing it for a reason. There's no malicious reason. And I make a note later about reserving areas with pillars is okay. Render range building. When we first started the island, we had 25 people right away, like minute one, from the old server. So there was a big land grab, right? And there were some minor conflicts. Well, this guy's too close to me, that guy's too close to me. So I use render range. I use that on Epic view settings, which I run, and it gives a bit more distance. And I make that note because you don't want someone to say he's not in render range, and they're running the lowest of view settings, of course, right? Now, if your neighbor doesn't mind, no problem. Platforms. The problem with platforms, especially if you played on PvP official, you know this. They kind of cause, if you place a platform, put some boxes on it and stuff, it can cause an issue for the builder close by. So in my server, you're more than welcome to build a platform next to another platform, but not another base. Here's the note on the base structures. Okay, this is important on a high pop server unless you want to do a lot of cleanup. We do use S+, however, which makes it a no loss to remove something. If you're not using S+, then this has to be reconsidered. But you don't want on a 25, 30 people on one server and having everybody with a trap. So you got 10 tribes. Each tribe needs 3-4 traps. What you're doing with having those traps everywhere is blocking new players from having a place to build. You're creating a cluttered map without even having that many players. So if you're trying to get 25, 50 players on a PvE server, you got to keep things tight as far as the mess goes. Obvious rule. Okay, if you're caught kiting or luring or dropping dinos in someone's base, you'd be banned. That's just straight up, and it's not impossible to enforce. We all have spectate mode. If you're suspicious of someone, spectate, record it, and review later if you're busy. If you're suspicious of someone, put them on spectate, record it, go do your breakfast and your lunch, or you go out for the day, right? And you'll have a video to review after. In that case, having 2 accounts is good. Some people behave appropriately when they know you're in the server and misbehave when you're not. I have 3 accounts. My girlfriend, myself, and my alt. Building in high resource areas. Now, the island back in the day, didn't have as many resources spread out as it does now. Something like Ragnarok, you're not really having a big issue. And this one I'm light about. So, I don't have specific areas marked off. If someone complains this, that, I'll go check it out. If there's something we can do, there's something we can do. But that's a case-by-case basis. You see, it'll be dealt with politely, warnings given. But if you're doing it to mess with the community, you'll be banned. Basically, use common sense. This is related to my server specifically, where you need to have a tribe. Now, there's more to this than just what I showed you in Discord, where everyone's labeled a tribe. If someone has access to tribe logs and they say, and I had a real-time example of this once, person's like, look, 10 of my dinos just got wiped out. I think someone kited it. First thing I said is send me a screenshot of your tribe logs. This was a fairly new player, maybe 30, 40 hours in by this point. And I was able to determine from the tribe logs that she had just died getting knocked off a dino by a raptor, and then a raptor killed her pterodon. So we know that wasn't kiting. And then I went and visited her base, and I saw that she had a lot of dinos parked right close to the walls. Their heads were half sticking out. It's a dangerous area, no flower turrets, no defenses. Well, I'm not going to jump on and assume someone's kiting at that point, but the tribe logs will help give you a hint to who did what, and possibly give you the very important evidence you need to start investigating or banning. This one for me is pretty important. As a former PvP owner and someone who's been doing service forever, I'm well loved by my players and very well hated by the ones that I've banned that don't agree with me. I get a lot of flack on Reddit. And if you decide that you're gonna, get banned or whatnot, or you decide you don't agree with me, if you attack my promotion system on Steam, Reddit, 4chan, or any media platform or broadcast platform, you'll be banned and probably all your tribe mates. Just get out. You're spending so much time trying to get a player. The last thing you need is people chasing you. Make it clear to them. Even then, though, they're mad. They'll attack you. They don't care about that rule. It's written in a way that it's pretty much redundant. This only happened once. I do get about, I won't say how much, but I get a decent amount of donations every month. And one time, and my donation setup with PayPal, my PayPal setup is donations. PayPal's policy says that you cannot get a refund on a donation because no product and service is provided. However, when this one individual who started their own server and decided they wanted their money back made a claim against me, I still had to debate the claim, and I was able to send a link of this, right? But make it clear to them. And I add a note to that. It's never going to happen. It happened years ago where I had a tragedy in my family and shut down the servers. I refunded everybody's donation that had given in the last 30 days. If they gave before the 30 days, they've been playing for quite a while anyways. The money's already spent on the server fees, but I'm not shutting down anyways. But if for some reason, I died or I got in some kind of tragic car accident, I would have my girlfriend refund that money with the 30 days. Now, this is important to me. This applies to me in real life, and it applies on my server. You want people to be comfortable reporting things, and you want a clear reputation that you never dimed anybody out. I've had people report things, and then the people that get banned because of it have sent me hundreds of messages on Reddit saying, give me the name, who did it, who said it. Don't ever, ever, ever reveal a source. Over time, you'll have a rep that you've never revealed a source, and that'll help keep you from having problems there. So those are my rules. There's only a page and a half. Now, I know I've seen servers, literally 6 map clusters with tons of players on the server, and they have 7, 8 pages of rules. Hey, go for it if you can enforce them. I can. I'm one guy, and I also find too many rules kind of like it's almost a turnoff in a way, but that's up to you. You do what you need to do. Those are the ones I can't live without. All right, moving along here. So my server rules section has something very important in it that's right up front. This is the disclaimer. I'm an all-age server, so I do get 12, 13-year-olds in there. I need those 12 or 13-year-olds to understand that I am not responsible for someone sexually harassing you or making you feel uncomfortable. I need it absolutely clear to them that they can leave if they don't like it, and that no one that works with me, myself, my community, Swamp Gamers, Arc Nation, Bigs Around, any of my corporations is ever going to be liable for any way that you've been made to feel uncomfortable. And I do mention, though, that they can talk to me about it. You can pause this if you need to read it. And again, you can copy paste any of this stuff. Obviously change the names around. I'm not proprietary over any of it anymore. So if you like what you see and you want to twist it around or change the words, go ahead and grab it. I recommend having this right up front. And it hasn't happened yet that I'm aware of where somebody got sued. But the fact is, I'm the labeled owner of this Discord. I'm the labeled owner of the server. And I live in Canada, neighbors with the U.S., and I depend on the U.S. financial markets and banking system for, outside of gaming stuff. And I can't afford to have any type of liens or problems. So I make sure to get that up. I have a couple of lawyers and law students that help me out with that. Make sure I have it worded correctly. And that's all I got there. If you are playing on the server, it means you have read the rules. It means you have read the rules. Okay? So make sure you got that up. All server info, great way to store organized, again, depending on the Google Docs. So when you get a new player in your server, they're like, oh, I need to join. Okay? That's where it is. You don't want to have to every single time copy paste a link. Someone says I need to join, it's hashtag all server info with the @metalorca. That's how you join. Okay, you can type join links or whatever. And the reason that's like that is speed. If I need to make an adjustment, I don't have to do it inside of Reddit, which is very hard to edit. It's annoying when you have to edit from, not Reddit, from Discord. Okay, you're working with this little square. So it's a big time saver that I can just click on the doc and edit from there. Donation support link. Okay, talked about it in another video, but you're going to want to have it. My links to follow me. Cross-Arc Travel, here we're talking about organization again. Now, again, you're attracting new players, right? And I've got a cluster. So as opposed to re-explaining every time how to use it, or telling them, oh, go check Google, you know, stuff like this, I just hashtag Cross-Arc Travel. There's a video there for you guys. You don't want to watch the video? Okay, at least I got a couple picks up. Okay, and that comes down to, this is all what we're talking about, is organization and saving time. I have FAQs galore from playing with new players so much. 90% of them are answerable by a hashtag. Okay, hey, where you going on Twitch today? Yeah, follow Biggs around. There's the link. Hey man, I never transferred Oboe before. Cross-Arc Travel hashtag. There's the link. Now in each one of these sections, with the exception of this one, I let this question in here because it answers something relevant. No one can type anything. No one can copy, no one can edit, none of that. So only I can type in these sections, or my permanent members. Okay? And that's set up through permissions. I went over that in another video. So you don't want, the reason being isn't that I'm a crazy dictator, well, but it's because if the more stuff that's typed here, this won't be the whole page. And I'm looking at it on a PC, but on a cell phone or a tablet, it gets a lot smaller and looks like a lot more writing, and you have to scroll more. I don't want people to have to scroll up for all the rules, and I don't even want to pin it. Okay, I just want it there. That's important stuff. This section, looking for mates, that's by request of the players. So we put one in, and this is where they can try and meet up with each other and get tribe mates. Again, saving myself time. This is a in-depth video I did about tribe governance. Now, you know, some of these players are recruiting off of Steam. They're randoms, and I don't want to have to go see them after and say, well, this guy destroyed all the dinos in my thing, or he tore down all my buildings, or whatever. If they've watched this video, that's not going to happen. Okay, so I'm getting out of some customer service there by giving them the right tools in the beginning to be able to create a safe tribe. And if you don't have a YouTube channel where that's up in videos, then, you know, link to somewhere that does have one, or type it out. Whatever you got to do. When you're helping players, giving them information, you're creating less issues later that you have to resolve. If they have the right tools and the right information, they have less problems, then you have less problems, and you have more time to either play the game or promote. This is my tutorial section. Of course, not everybody's going to have it because you just don't make tutorial videos, and that's great. And one of the key ones, though, is we're on a PvE server, and we have S+. So this tells them a few things about S+ that really changes the game. But more than that is this one. You're going to get kiting if you're running high pop. You're going to have problem players if you're running high pop. And this video shows my players at least the basic defenses they need. If not, and you don't do videos, again, link to someone, a video that you like, or type it out. With typing it out, it takes up a little more space, though. This is just for me. It's cave tutorials. You don't need that. And this section, I find, look, it gets a lot of, you know, it's a great section to have. It's a place where people can share their stuff, their picks. It's a point of pride, right? I mean, you're proud when you spend a lot of time to get something. I mean, look at how just beautiful this house is, right? Who doesn't want to share that? And so Jade put that up, and then people comment on it. It gives people ideas for building more stuff. It creates a great interaction between your players. This guy doesn't even play on my servers. Great guy, Vesuvius. Fantastic. And he's posting up some stuff from his Prim Plus server. Now, only because I know him really well, would we have someone that owns his own server or plays on another one in here, but he's solid, so we don't worry. Trades, another very important one. Veer's even put up a Google Doc for all the blueprints he wants to set up for the community. This is a great place for people to do business. It's important. Now, one thing you notice on the left side, I don't have too much. And we don't use VC a lot. Everyone does their own calls, so we have a couple in there for when people work in caves and stuff, but very limited. The main purpose behind this Discord is for me to be able to hashtag and answer questions quickly, and also keep an eye on all my players to keep things organized. And it's very helpful to use the Google Docs system, because here's the two maps I have. Okay, when we look in the Google Doc, we see an in-depth amount of info for each map. Why? Answer less questions. Hey Biggs, what's the taming rates? Hey Biggs, how many people in this, or how many people in a tribe? What are the multipliers for that? I put basically any setting that people would be interested in here. If I had done that in the Discord itself, it would be hard to read, hard to format. You wouldn't get the nice sort of colors and the join links there. Okay, so also the links to the mods, how they're going to show up, right? You get the picture and a big Steam black box in there. It just doesn't work. Google Docs is your friend, big time. I use it for a lot of stuff, okay? So that's just a way to stay organized and work quickly. Let's talk about security a little bit. The next video is rates, settings, and mods, by the way. This is just a battle metrics. I do get, like I said, donations. So for $10 a month, out of that money, I give it to battle metrics. Now, they don't pay me to say this because I'm too small, but the fact is it's good. Now we're at a real quiet time. It's 2:51 Eastern here on the server. We'll hit we used to be about 25-30 on this one at night. Now we'll do 12 and 12 because I just started RAG yesterday. Now I happen to know everybody, but here's why we love battle metrics. Number one, I can monitor the chat. Okay, I can send messages to each individual server or all servers. Okay, and you can get a deeper version that actually shows you what's happening with tames and stuff, but it tends to crash the server, so I run it just for security and safety, more or less. As well as I can shut down servers. There's a lot I can do. But what I like the most is this feature right here. When I click on Krager, I can ban him or whatnot, but I can go right to his Steam profile right away. Okay, without having to go through Steam ID Finder or anything like that. And when a new player first joins, and I notice the name on here that I don't recognize, I'm right on it. And I can also watch the chat. The chat window does scroll in game. Not everyone's going to take a screenshot, so if someone's brutal, I got that, or toxic or racist, I got that. I got the chat. You can just keep going back and back and back to minute 1, essentially. Okay. So I recommend taking a look at battle metrics. Even the non-paid version gives you some info. The same thing anyone else can access. But the $10 a month for me, considering it's paid for by the donators anyways, is well worth it. And it has a lot of information for a lot of things. It goes way beyond what I've shown you here. But I have it on my phone. I have this up all the time. Who joined, even there. This is his Steam name. That's his player name. When he types, I can see it. Stuff like that. So it's fantastic. It's highly recommended. So between battle metrics and Discord, the organization with everybody having a tribe, everyone having a color, okay, and then all this data on the left side, I save myself infinite amounts of time because as soon as a new player joins, it's, hey, Arcane, how are you? Welcome to the Discord. Please check out server rules before you play. And the all server info page has links to join. If you need me, type @Biggs around. That's it. That's my conversation with the new player until they interact with me again. And you can do that with a bot. I'm not a big fan of bots. I'm old and I like personal customer service and personal interactions, so I don't use them. Okay. Finally, which we've gone over a little bit before, again, organization and saving times is your copy paste. So these are commonly asked questions from new players. I don't call them noobs, I call them new jacks. I like the way it sounds better. I have lines in between and I can copy paste this sort of stuff. And this is the stuff I get the most questions of. So I have it ready to copy paste in Steam, Discord, wherever I get it. All my promo stuff, which is probably a little outdated now, okay, but ready to copy and paste. And this is all from my old servers, you know, when I had 4 maps and stuff, and I don't. So most of this I don't use. This is the only one I use now. That's it. And I don't use it much. Players that have problems, this is a system I set up that's pretty awesome. It's worked 100% of the time. Okay, if you need it, just, you know, put a comment in and I'll send it to you. This is a way that if your game is completely broken and nothing's working at all, this is a way that 100% of the time, if you follow it step by step, will fix your game. And I've had to use it a few times, and it's a lot to remember and it's a lot to type. I simply copy pasted that to my man Rico. He was having a huge problem, and this saved it for him, and now he can play on our servers. And that's a guy that, you know, when you do something like that for somebody, you're going to get sometimes a little loyalty out of it, and someone that really appreciates you, and someone that will back you up when you need it, you know. So yeah, you know, there's my YouTube promo stuff. So I have it all ready to go on copy paste when I need it. So that's about it, guys. The main things to take out of this video, well, let me just say, of course, if you like it, subscribe, hit the bell. You guys know how YouTube works. I don't need to go over that with you. Do I need to do a tutorial video on how to subscribe to my videos? Come on! But the main thing you want to take from this, and take a look at them, is the server rules. Think about that organization stuff I'm talking about. This just makes your life easier. The less time you spend answering questions, the less time you explain to someone how to transfer. All these things just give you more time to do, you know, what you enjoy. And it's not that I don't enjoy answering questions, but if I'm typing the same response over and over again, I'm wearing out my fingers and it's taking up time. And those are solved through this side, okay, and through my promo sections and new jack sections. And you all have different ones. We'll get them up there. As far as comments go, if there's something I missed out, or there's something that you do that works really great for you as an owner, or you have a question about why I do something a certain way, please type it. I'm a very small channel. I check all my notifications all the time. I will get back to you, and you know, I'd love to hear about it. If there's something you completely disagree with and there's a reason behind it, let me know. This is based on PvE servers. I had different rules during PvP, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in another video. So take care, everyone, and glad to have you on board. I'll be recording the next one right now and getting at least 3 or 4 of these up today, so stay focused. Subscribe.